Recently, Jonathan sent me these awesome vintage sets, a lot of which are Star Wars. They've got to be parted out and rebuilt, so I think I'm going to be taking care of that today. All right, getting started with the part out here. I want to take everything apart and sort them by part type, just because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to put it back together, and this way I can just go through it step by step, ensure that all the pieces are there, and if they're not there, well then I can pick them from my inventory. So I think it's going to make the building process a lot more enjoyable. I decided to start with the Sith Infiltrator from 1999 Lego set 7151, consisting of 244 pieces and one minifigure. We've got Darth Maul right there. Really cool vintage Darth Maul. I think it's going to have the majority of the pieces, and if it doesn't, I probably will have them. I'm really happy to see all these print pieces here. Like, that is so cool. Can you believe it? There was a time when Lego actually used to print awesome things like this. That's incredible. I'm excited about getting started with the build. These old instruction manuals are pretty funny because the light gray looks like white, the dark gray looks like light gray, and the black looks like dark gray. You just got to keep that in mind as you're building. Also, they don't tell you which parts to pick, and they don't outline the pieces in red, so you've really got to pay attention to the diagram. Definitely a simplistic build. It's old, it's from 1999, so there's not a whole lot of part variety here, but I mean, it looks pretty good. It's a sturdy Sith Infiltrator, that's for sure. As I continue to build, I find out that there are some missing pieces, and it's a little bit harder for me to find some of these pieces because it's the old dark gray and the old light gray. It's not the new light bluish gray and dark bluish grays. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to find some of the missing pieces because I don't have a whole lot of those old colors. At the end of the build, I was left over with a lot of spare pieces, but I think those go toward this Gungan Sub right here. We've got Jar Jar and Qui-Gon inside. Hopefully I can remove that sticker without damaging this printed windscreen piece, because that is really cool. There's actually 3 of them. When I finished up the build, I found some missing pieces. I couldn't substitute this 1x4 plate. You can see the color difference there. Also, I needed 2 of these triangular plates. You can see on the bottom, I put the new dark gray, so you can't really see it. I did have luck finding 2 more of these like seat elements, which is the landing gear for the Sith Infiltrator. And then we've got our minifig there, as you saw earlier, and we also have his little speeder bike, and that speeder bike can be parked in the back of the Sith Infiltrator, where we have that really cool print piece. And if we just lift that up and bust this down, we can slide it inside, and then there's a little cargo bay up front here, and I can open that just by grabbing this connecting element and reveal what's inside. It's actually Darth Maul's lightsaber. Didn't come with the hilt, but I found a hilt in my parts inventory. And then these right here, I don't know if these are like, what are they, probe droids? Is that what he uses? Or if they're bombs or what they are. Let me know what you think they are by commenting below. But pretty good way to start the day here, that's for sure. At the end of the instruction manual, it has like a little bit of a comic book. He's like coming up to it, he's like, oh no, my ship's gone, oh no, what's happening there? And then it actually shows some alternate builds. I don't have a whole lot of vintage Star Wars, and I didn't collect Lego in 1999. Can you build this with this? I don't know. I don't recall seeing red 1x4. No, the red 1x4 tiles are in there. So you must be able to build these alternate models with this set. So I think that's pretty cool, and I love the comic book, or just the images, comic style images at the end of the instructions. Look, you can even build a lightsaber hilt. So that's pretty unique. Off to a great start. I think I'm going to see what's going down with this Gungan Sub next. So it's Gungan Sub 7161, also from 1999. This one here consists of 379 pieces. You get 2 minifigures, so we've got classic Jar Jar Binks, and then also classic yellow Qui-Gon, this green lightsaber, and the shiny lightsaber hilt. Just beauty. Then we got the Gungan Sub here. It actually splits apart into a couple different, actually a few different sections. Now I am missing the thing that comes off the back. It's like the winded up flex tube. But that's all right. It still looks very presentable. This is awesome. Like, look at that. We've got the windscreens, which can, of course, open up. The back ones open up like this. And then the front one opens up like that. And you can place 3 minifigures in here. I don't know why they wouldn't have given us 3 minifigures to put inside the Gungan Sub. Sort of weird. There's a few part substitutions. You'll see some light gray there. So, for example, this slope and this slope is light gray rather than the, or sorry, it's light bluish gray rather than the light gray. And this tile right here is the different color as well, because I didn't have another one of those. I swear I have more of those. I'll have to look into it. Search elsewhere. Besides that, though, not any other missing pieces, but there was like a little foundation for it, actually. It came with a stingray and some seaweed and just a basic like sea floor build. Doesn't have that, which is whatever, it is what it is. We've got a really cool Gungan Sub. So we can actually pull away the front section like so. So that can become its own little sub there. And you can actually attach pieces to the back of it, like thrusters or propellers. And you see these nice print pieces. This hatch can open up, and that's where you can actually stow away your thrusters for that little mini version of the sub. And also in here, we've stowed away the propellers for that as well. And those are in the trans orange, which is pretty cool. So there's this one here, and this actually hinges downward like that on either side. And then we can attach that to the Technic pins on the back. And there you go. Then there's this little mini build, and you can also put that on the back as well if you just want the propellers. So a couple different options. And of course we could put Qui-Gon in there. There's this on the front, which is like a blue anchor, which is pretty neat, and you can take that off too. Introducing Lego set 10195 from 2009. This is the Republic Dropship with AT-OT. However, mine doesn't have the AT-OT. We're just going to be building the Republic Dropship today. But still, that is epic. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Like, wow, this is simply incredible. So this set comes with 1,758 pieces. However, this one doesn't have the AT-OT, so I'm not sure how many pieces the actual dropship is. Brand new, this thing is worth $1,823 with all the minifigures and all the original like sticker pieces and everything. That's an insane value. Its original retail price was $250 US, and in used condition, it's worth $1,090. Holy, like that is just crazy. But that's for, once again, a complete set. But it doesn't matter, man. Like, Jonathan, this is crazy. Thank you so much, man. This is so cool. I can't wait to place this bad boy with the other gunships in the Star Wars room. It's gonna look epic. When I unbagged this one here, it came sort of like partly together, not really. Some of the Technic pieces were still pretty solid, but for the most part, it all had to be ripped apart and rebuilt. However, I didn't really feel like rebuilding the Technic stuff, so I did decide to leave that somewhat intact, because it's pretty easy to look at the diagrams on the instructions and say, okay, this looks like it's all together here. Just sort of have an in-depth look at each step as you go through and rebuild it according to the instructions, but not have to take the whole thing apart. However, with that said, not taking it apart sort of made it really inefficient, and it made the building process a little bit more daunting. And partway through I was like, I probably shouldn't have done this. What I should have done is just taken it all apart, done a rebrickable model sort, and then put it all back together, just because it goes a little more smoothly, like when all your parts are sorted and everything's in a row and in a line and ready to be assembled. But either way, I get her done, and the build went pretty smoothly. You know, there was a few missing pieces that I had to hop up and grab from my parts inventory, but for the most part, all of the parts were there. And sometimes I get up and I grab a part, and then at the end of the build or midway through the build or a little bit later on, I find that part anyways. So it's actually mostly complete, which is pretty awesome. But there we go, I'm chipping away at the build there. You can see me always like squinting and staring at the computer screen, because I downloaded the digital instructions just from the LEGO website. It's really cool that all of these instructions are still available on the LEGO website. And I actually sourced it through brickset.com. They have the links on their page, and that's where you can see, you know, all the information about the set, and you can add it to your collection, which I'm going to do, and you can source the instructions from there as well. But bing, bang, boom, there we go. The build's looking pretty epic, and I'm pretty excited. This thing is so cool. It's quite sizable. Like I mentioned, I don't have the ATOT, so I can't demonstrate how it actually picks that up, but this thing just looks amazing. They need to make a new version of this. It is sweet. It's got lots of firepower too, like on the wings, so I can shoot these flick missiles. They can go boo all at once there. And then also underneath the cockpit, there's some more firepower as well that can be removed because these panels here, they just open up. Now, unfortunately, not unfortunate at all, it is what it is. I don't have the sticker elements that go on the panels, but maybe I can like get some printed, or I can print my own, slap them on there. They have like a really cool graphic. I'd imagine I could just Photoshop it up, print it, put it on there, and then replace those. But look at that, we got some more flick missiles inside. Big cannons on the front, just like the gunship, right? Same build there. The nice hosing, the handle to grab it, which I think is super cool. And then the big landing gear, another cannon on the back. This can flex open like that. I think it's just to get the angle. This angle is super cool as well. And so is the angle of the cockpit. And we can open up back here too. So yeah, this thing is sweet. Wow, I am very impressed. This thing is really cool for its age. It's got some nice sticker detailing on it as well. You can see right below the hoses there, there's like those caution signs above those slopes. And then there's this 4x4 modified plate with the nice detail on it. It's a nice sticker. And also the 2x2 circular logo there. Also got these print pieces right down here on the landing gear, the dishes. And we got the same thing on this side. And this is what the sticker element for the door looks like. It's different on the other side as well, but that's so funny. That's great. I think I have the technology. I think I'll be able to figure out how to print that. And then there's a couple more of those 4x4 modified plates with the 4 studs back here that have 2 more stickers on them as well. And this is that really cool function. Just picks it up, so solid. Awesome. It took a long time to rebuild just because I did it in a really inefficient way, but hey, I'm pretty happy that we got it done. It looks awesome. I just realized that I forgot to put the dark blue 1x2 tiles there. Sorry about that. I fixed that up, and I'll put the windscreen back on. It goes the opposite direction that you would think, so it's like that. I also have 2 of these pins left over. I almost feel like going back through the instruction manual to figure out where those go. I started working on the 396 piece from 2005. This one is the ARC 170 fighter. Comes with the 3 V-wing pilots. How cool are they? 3 pilots in this thing. Also the R5D4 astromech droid who can be popped in the center there. This one does have some missing pieces. It is missing the windscreen. Also, I substituted some pieces over here. These are supposed to be dark red. I substituted them for white. Didn't have enough to do it on the other side. And then I built it, and I discovered that the play feature isn't working. So I'll have to rip it all apart and try and get that working. The worm gear apparatus in the bottom just doesn't seem to be connecting to the wings, because normally the wings would like spread out, but it doesn't seem to be operating correctly. So this one needs some work. I still have some more sets to build here, but oh boy, it's already been an entire day. There's a couple more Star Wars ones in here. I think that's a land speeder of sorts. And then there's also a Naboo starfighter right there. And then some city stuff over here. Where does time go? I was building and I forgot to eat lunch. I mean, dinner, I guess. Whoops. But yeah, just building this type of stuff takes a little bit longer because you like part it out and rebuild it all, as you saw. Not quite as efficient, but as I was eating lunch or dinner, I was flipping through this, looking at the mechanism that expands the wings. Pretty cool. I've got to rip it apart and figure out what's going on there and order those dark red elements. And check out the windscreen too, see if it's going to be a tough find or not. And then I've got to custom build the guns, which I should have the parts for, I would imagine. I don't know. I'll have to just go through my parts bins and figure it out. But I was looking at the back here. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. Look at the clone turbo tank. Instruction manuals used to be so much fun. They'd have like advertisements for all the other sets in the back. The Wookiee catamaran. There's the Arc 170, Jedi Starfighter, the Vulture droid. So that's pretty cool. Oh, look at that one. The General Grievous Chase. Hello there. And also while I was building lunch, no, while I was eating lunch, I busted out this one here and started putting it together. I replaced some parts there, but the gray doesn't match up. It doesn't have the back thrusters and the part on the back here, so I'll have to do some part sourcing for that one as well. But hey, there you go, a Naboo Starfighter from 1999 as well. But you never know, maybe when I go through here, I'll find some of these missing parts. So it all came from the same lot. Oh, what if the Arc 170 windscreen is in here? I think I have this speeder in my collection. This looks like a Luke's land speeder. Are you kidding me? Look at that thing. That's so cool. It's so basic. And then there's a speeder bike. 2 of them, actually. And another Scout Trooper here. And another vintage Luke. And this looks like, look at that AT-AT print piece in there. But this looks like a snow speeder. So a snow speeder of sorts that I've got to put the puzzle back together. Find out what year this is from. Probably from 1999 as well. Look at that printed windscreen. I don't know why they all have these like gross stickers on them. But yeah, this is the last thing that I need to do is go through that, part it out, or figure it out. Well, the last thing in regards to Star Wars. And then there's also this bag, which is mixed in with the Star Wars stuff too, but I'm gonna guess that's not Star Wars. But in here is another figure. I think this one's Obi-Wan. Comes with a hood. So you got the hood piece? Pretty sure that's Obi-Wan. Oh, looks like Jose's FaceTiming me right now, so I'm gonna say hello to the kids. Say hello to everyone.
Hello. Can you say hi? Bye-bye.
Hi, kids. Dad's building Lego Star Wars stuff, and he should be at home with you. Home. The reason I'm not at home hanging out with the kids is because tonight is actually pool night. So I'm going to go play some pool because I'm in a pool league. And I do that about once every 2 weeks or so. And tonight I'm going to go do that. So figured I'd stay here and try and get this all built. I think I got the majority of it built. I'm pretty happy with the results. It looks awesome. I decided to do this today because it arrived in the mail the other day. And I was like, you know what? I should get that built. Why not? Do some vintage Star Wars rebuilds. Yeah, feel pretty accomplished. I do want to make it my goal to crush my backlog here over the next 2 weeks. And specifically the next build, once I finish dealing with this stuff, is actually going to be the Hulkbuster up there. So make sure you stay tuned for a vlog on the Hulkbuster because I'm going to get that done. Mrs. Brixie's coming back to the studio tomorrow, so we're going to work on a co-op project. What that co-op project is going to be, I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure that out. Maybe finishing that Winter Village. But yeah, there we go. I managed to piece back the majority of the Star Wars stuff, just a couple small builds left over there, and then this giant bag of vintage city stuff. Not too bad. Pretty great day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.